everybody. Thanks for coming back and joining me today. We're going to make part 2 of the May Stamp Club cards that I had started. I did 2 yesterday, so if you didn't get a chance, go back and watch that Facebook Live, and tomorrow I will make the last 2. So I do have several things that I want to talk with you about today. We've got some really fun things coming up. Let me check though, make sure that I am coming up on my feed real quick, and then I'll be right back. Awesome, yay, right off the bat. Okay, so I don't know if y'all have heard or seen that Stampin' Up! Tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'll let y'all do the math, figuring out the East Coast, the West Coast, and all that. But they're doing their first ever virtual party, which is going to be super awesome. So I'm going to post the link for that. I posted it, I think, the other day, but I'm going to repost it for you. So you can come and join us for that really awesome party that they're going to be doing for us tomorrow. So I also, too, I'm going to talk to you about selling a home kit that I have coming up. That the registration is getting ready to close for that, and I'm going to show you those projects today. But let's get to our projects for today. All right, give me a moment. Let me turn my camera around, and you can get a sneak peek of the May projects while I'm doing that. All right, let's get the camera into position. Okay, let's give this a whirl and see what this looks like. All right, so these are the 2 cards that we are making today. Again, I am using the Strong and Beautiful stamp set that I'm using for all 6 projects, and it includes some really beautiful sentiments. And as I talked about yesterday, again, I am using the Ornate dies that are part of the Ornate Garden Suite. We're going to use, actually today we're going to use this die right here, and then we're going to use one of the border dies. We're actually going to use 2 of the border dies. We're going to use this one and this one. Take that, yes, that's the one. We're going to use that one. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out so you can kind of see what those look like. And let's get started. I'm going to do this card first, and what I did is I already have everything pre-done. Again, if you will look in the files section, you'll notice that I have the PDF of today's projects in there. So if you have the kit, you can follow along. If you don't have the kit and want to make your own, you can follow those directions to make your own cards. So I start off with a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of thick Whisper White cardstock. I've already scored it in half at 4 1/4. And I'm going to fold it, and I've already burnished mine ahead of time. And then what I do is I'm going to take a strip of the designer series paper from the Best Dress paper, and I'm actually choosing this real pretty, kind of looks like it has little rosettes in it, and I'm going to put that at the top. And that piece measures 3 inches by 5.5. So I'm able to do 2 cards with one of the 6x6 sheets. So we're just going to put that right at the top. Okay, and then we're going to take a 1.5 by 5.5 of the polka dot, the Petal Pink polka dot paper. Okay guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I ran out of this polka dot paper, so I am using a scrap that is less than 1.5 inches. But that is okay. We will make it work, and may not be exactly, but that's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Okay, so remember I told you we were going to use one of the border dies from the Ornate Garden set. This actually, it is just tiny little dots, little polka dots along the edge, which I thought would blend in really nice with the polka dots that are in the paper. If you remember yesterday, I was talking about if you ever struggle trying to find ideas, you can just pull elements out of your paper and pick coordinating items to go with them, kind of like the dots in the border with the dots on the paper. Okay, See, covered it up. So what I did is I had pre-cut a little 1/2 inch by 5.5 inch piece. I ran it through the big shot with those little dots. And so we have that. Next, we're going to add our frame. But before I do that, I have pre-cut the frame already. I used that Ornate Layer Dies. And I'm gonna stamp my image from the Strong and Beautiful stamp set. Now this one, this is probably out of all the sentiments, I love this one the best. Actually, I take that back. There's another one I like too. This one says, "To the woman who does it all with grace and wisdom." Is that not just an awesome saying? How many women do you know that just go through so much and yet you would never know it because it's just the way that they just can handle themselves with such grace and wisdom, right? Okay, so I'm gonna actually use dimensionals to lift this up. And then I'm going to show you how I got the flower. So we're just going to put that in the middle, right there. Okay, so to me it just seemed a little bland. I needed a little pop of color. So what I did is in the designer series paper, there's a sheet that's got different rosettes on it. And all I did is I just cut out one of the flowers that is in the paper. And so if you're ever needing just a little accent of something, that's a great way to build accent with what you already have, with paper you already have. And I'm gonna use some dimensionals again. Oh, hey, Marianne. Hey, Pat. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Sorry, I'm checking comments right now. Hey, Gloria, Cheryl, Nathan. Okay, so I'm just going to add that with some dimensionals. And I want to add just to tie in a little bit of the green that's in the paper and kind of offset that flower a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like flowers just have to have leaves. I don't know why. Oh dear, I think my glue is going to act up on me right now. Let's see. If not, I've got a backup. There we go. Cool. Okay, so I am going to just stick that under there. And that card is done. And you can just add your message inside and send it to someone special. All right, y'all ready for the next card? Okay, now the next card is really, really cool, but you have to really pay attention to what you're doing. And I did not pay attention, but I'm going to show you the right way to do it, and I'm going to show you how to do it the wrong way. So on this card, what I did is I took a piece of the designer series paper that measures 4 by 5 inches long, and then I cut it in half. So here is a sample of the paper. It's not the exact pattern, but that's okay. You can, mix and match patterns. And I want to be able to cut it diagonally this way. So I'm going to take my paper trimmer, and let's see if I can get this into view for you. Now you want to keep in mind, if you can see this, we want to have the short side at the top. So I need to make sure that when I line it up so that I have the short side on this, on the left side, and then the long side this way, okay? Because if you do it the opposite way, you don't get the right cut, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So you're going to cut this way. So now when you do that, you get 2 pieces that are identical. And you can just layer them on top like that. Okay, if you accidentally, like I did, and you cut it the opposite way, you're going to end up with this, okay? And so, as you can see, it did not quite work. Now, however, I could have, if I wanted, I could have just reversed my position, or I could do this, or I could do that. So, even if you make a mistake cutting, it's okay. You can still use it in different ways, which is what I'm actually going to do today. So what I did is I'm going to take this piece, even though I messed it up in my prep work, I'm still going to use it. So we're going to put it at the top, but we're going to do it in landscape mode instead of portrait. So I'm going to glue that on. And we're just going to put that up at the top and leave just a little bit of a white border there. And I used this real pretty rose or like floral die from the Ornate Border Dies. And I went ahead and I pre-cut my white one. Now there is a lot of different open spaces here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it over and I'm going to put little dots where there are more solid spaces so I don't have a bunch of the glue seeping through. And it will hold just fine. Maybe a little bit in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay that across this way. All right, I'm going to lay that down. Hey Kim, Danielle, nice to see y'all. Thanks Nancy, thanks for joining me. Okay, so I think that looks awesome that way. So let me go ahead and I'm going to add my sentiment. And I pre-cut this with the Stitch Shapes dies, which again, like I said, this is one of my favorite sets. If y'all are looking for a go-to set or a starter set, this is the one to get, the Stitch Shapes dies. So this sentiment says, thank you for always being there for me. So we're just going to glue this down here in the corner. Okay, we're just going to put that right there. Oops, it moved on me. I love having a little wiggle room on the glue, but sometimes it moves before I am ready for it to move. Okay, so I'm going to show you something really cool that actually one of my team members, Ginger Wilkes, taught me and some of our other team members. I don't know if she's on here. She is. Ginger, I'm showing your wonderful floral technique. I won't do it justice, but I am going to try. So in one of the border sets, you have these little flowers that you can cut out. Oops, I think I lost a flower, guys. You know what? I'm just going to have to do without because I won't find it. All right, so what you can do is you can take the end. You can use a stylus. The only reason I'm not using a stylus on this one is because there are little holes and I'll poke a hole right through the flower. But what you can do is you can take like the end of the Take Your Pick tool where it's kind of a wide end, and you take a foam mat and you just gently press down and you wiggle it so it kind of gives it a little cup look to it. And then again, I'm going to do that. And guys, if you want to see some of Ginger's flowers, you need to scroll down in this group. I actually had challenged my team and some of my customers to take some leftover celebration pieces and make something with them. And Ginger did some awesome, awesome flower ones. So you need to go check out, scroll down in this feed and you can see her really cool projects. Okay. All right, so now I am going to glue them. I've already prepped the other ones. And I'm just gonna go wherever there's like a flower, like a solid flower, I'm just gonna put one of these little pink ones. Now the glue is wanting to seep through a little bit on me. All right, that one. And then I just feel like there needs to be a little something here in this corner. So I'm gonna put that right there. And I'm gonna give that just a minute to dry before I add my pearls. Now guys, like I said, I dropped a flower and I don't know where stuff goes in my craft room, but it just simply disappears and goes under the weirdest spots. So I'm just gonna put that there. When I find it, I will add the last flower right there. And all we have left to do to finish this card is add our pearls. Tell you, pearls and rhinestones, what would we do without them? They're like the perfect accent. Just gonna put those in the center of the flowers. And there we go, guys. Like I said, when I find that flower, I will finish up this card. And isn't that awesome? I mean, even though I had messed up on the cut, it still came out beautiful at a different angle. I just think they're really nice and pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the camera up, and I don't wanna turn the camera just yet because I wanna show you something really cool. I told you I was gonna tell you about my Sailing Home class. Actually, registration has already been going and it ends on May 4th. I need a calendar to figure out what day of the week that is, but y'all can look that up. It includes 5 projects that I had so much fun making. So it actually includes 3 cards that are fun fold cards. This one is a double easel card, and it has the lighthouse on it, and then inside a sailboat that you can stamp. And then this one is like a trifold card. That was a lot of fun. And then this one is a gift card holder, and you can place your gift card inside the pocket. But it also has 2 treat holders. And I honestly, this is how it kind of got started, is I had a little box of these Werther original candies sitting on my desk. And I was like, you know, that really goes really well with that kind of nostalgic nautical theme. So I figured out the measurements, and I made a box to go with it. So this would actually, when I untie it, it would go inside the box. So the kit will include, you know, the pre-cut supplies plus the candies. And then this one, do you remember the old style matchboxes? I don't know, I guess they still have them, but how you can slide them out and you'd have matches inside? Well, instead I put an Altoids inside. So your kit will come pre-cut supplies with the 2 candies, but it will also come with a quarter pack of the designer series paper. So basically you will get 2 6x6 sheets of each of the patterns that are in that pack. And it also comes with, one last thing, I think it's 25 spool of the baker's twine, the Night and Navy and Sahara Sand baker's twine. So if you are interested in that, I will post the link where you can get more information. If you are interested in registering, please contact me, and I will get you the registration link for that. So guys, I'm going to turn up my camera real quick so I can say goodbye to you and just give you one more message. Okay, let's get this into position. All right, so thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate that. I love these, love the ornate dies. That really was such an inspiration to use for this card kit this month. And if you are interested in purchasing any of the products that I showed you, or if you have questions about them, just reach out to me. You can see my shopping link up in the corner with the host code to use for this month. And also too, today, I know some of y'all have already taken advantage of it, but if you haven't, go over and check out my BOGO sale that's going on. It started this morning. And again, the link is probably further down in the feed, but I'll repost it so you can have it at the top. And you make sure you read all the details though, exactly how that BOGO works, and so that you can get some free goodies with that. And guys, don't forget the virtual party tomorrow with Stampin' Up! Tomorrow night. I would love to see you on there, and let's have some crafting fun. So anyway, tomorrow I'm gonna do the last 2 projects for the May Stamp Club at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. I hope that you will join me again. Bye guys, see you tomorrow.